Oh gosh. Hello! I decided for all my wrap up and TBR videos I'm gonna wear my thank you next t-shirt because it's so accurate. Like, thank you for your time, thank you for reading, but also thank you next. I'm on to my new month of reading, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. I have not done one of these videos for probably, I reckon, I've been off Bookstagram for 2 years, but even before then I don't reckon I've done a wrap up and TBR video for probably like 3 years. I haven't really read much this month, but I have lots of plans to read in the next month in October. So let's just dive right in. I was a bit sneaky with my photo because a lot of the books I'm planning to read are audiobooks because I'm still in London and I don't want to buy physical books anymore because I just have to take them home with me. But I didn't want my pile to look like 3 books high because that's not accurate. But yeah. Anyway, what I actually read in September, I read Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland, and I read this because I used to watch Riverdale, so I followed Lee Reinhardt and I saw she was in the upcoming movie, and by the trailer it looked like my cup of tea, so I read the book before I watched the movie. I'll be honest though, it was really hard for me to kind of get through the book. I liked the beginning, but I felt like it just kept going on and on about the same thing, and like I get the subject matter, you know, it's not something that simply just like changes overnight, but I just felt like it was just the same kind of stuff over and over, and it got really hard for me to finish. And then I watched the movie, and to be honest, the movie I couldn't even get through. I didn't even watch the whole movie. I watched like the first half an hour and then I was like, okay, bye. So yeah, I was quite surprised because it sounded like it was right up my alley. And I really thought I was gonna love it, but I just couldn't get through it. So I gave that one like a 2 out of 5, which is probably the lowest I've rated anything in a while. But honestly, I think it's because I did have those expectations that I was gonna love it, and it was just like, sorry. I think like, yeah, maybe I just had too high of an expectation, and if I, you know, didn't have the expectation of it, you know, or I didn't have an assumption of what I thought it was going to be, I would be less disappointed by it. But the fact that I struggled to finish it just means that I did have to get that too, unfortunately. The other 2 books that I read in September were You Matter by Dimon. Such a beautiful book. It is a poetry book, and it was an Instagram find, I think, and it just, yeah, I kept seeing little poems from the book, and I really wanted to give it a go. I'll admit I had a bit of a rough time in July and August, and I kind of needed some like soul soothing and inspiration, and this just seemed to be like just what I needed. I loved this. I gave it 5 out of 5. Thinking of doing another poetry video because I have read a lot of poetry books since I've been over here, some by the same authors and some by new, this one being one of the new ones. But yeah, I just love the back of the book too. It says, "Note, even in despair, make room for hope, for there is always hope." So yeah, it was just like, it's just, yeah, I found poetry quite empowering and soothing, and this is just what I needed. A similar book that I read at the same time on the same day was You'll Come Back to Yourself by Michaela Anjami. Again, I kept seeing this, I think I saw this on TikTok actually, but I saw it on social media and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, again, kind of just what I needed. It kind of had the same, like, you know, sentiments. I think it's more meant to be about letting go of someone in a relationship, but I kind of took it as like, you know, I've lost a few family members this year, so I kind of took it on as that. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I don't know if she has any other books, so I definitely want to see if she has any more stuff and keep reading. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 too, I think. And yeah, I read them both within the same hour. They're really easy to get through, you know, like some of the poems, it's not like your modern, like your classic poetry. It's just very, you know, simple, you know, meaningful stuff. So yeah. As for my TBR now, so this one's a lot longer. I was still, was I working in September? No. There's a lot of changes going on in September, and to be honest, since living in London, I haven't read as much as I usually do. I think my life's just been a lot busier, and while I have read, definitely not to the degree I was reading back in Australia where I was reading like a book a week. But now that I have a lot more time and less activities to be doing, less work, I have a lot more on my TBR. So the first one on my TBR, oh, I should mention before I start my TBR, I'm kind of in a halfway point with one book right now. I really want to finish it in time for this video, but I'm literally like just under halfway. So it's The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I'm really enjoying it so far. I didn't think I would because it's more of like a fantasy book, and I normally, if I'm in a reading rut, I need like contemporary to get out of it, but I've been really enjoying it. I'll probably finish it in the next day or so. And that'll be in my next month's video. But yeah, that one I'm kind of halfway through, The Last Magician. So that's like kind of something I've read and I'll be reading in October. So in October, I definitely want to read the second book in the series, The Devil's Thief, by the same person, of course, Lisa Maxwell. I have yet to finish, so I said to Steph, who recommended the book, we're kind of doing a read along, that if I like the ending of the first book, I'll definitely read the second one. And so far, so good. So that's definitely on my TBR. And another one that I'm really excited to read in October for the spooky season is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. Now, that's a part of Steph and mine's Bad Witches Read book club. I'll link it down below. And we are reading that because it's kind of like a ghost story. It says it's a feminist fantasy. So, I mean, it sounds scary, but it sounds like it's going to be really good too. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's definitely out of my usual scope. I've read like one horror book, Stephen King, before. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into that one. Another one that's kind of within the kind of spooky theme, or it's set in Halloween anyway, is Paper Girls. I have had this since I moved over here and I've been meaning to read it. And it's set in the early hours after Halloween of 1988. It really gives me Stranger Things vibes, like season 2. So I'm really excited to read this. Like, I've never read a graphic novel before. And I have other graphic novels I want to read, and this is just kind of that kind of vibe for October. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try this out, and I'll probably power through this in like one day, if not like 1 hour or so. I don't know, actually. I shouldn't underestimate the power of the graphic novel because it probably will take me longer than I think. But yeah, I'm really intrigued to jump in and see how I feel. I think there might be more than one. Just seems so cute. So yeah, I'm gonna read that one. Now, another one that, I mean, this is very ambitious to be read, because I've been a part of, not in a reading rut, I just haven't been reading as fast as I have before. So I'm really gonna try and like get through a lot. We'll see what I actually do read. The Long Walk by Stephen King. It's basically about, it kind of reminds me not of the Hunger Games, but like it's about this walk that 100 boys participate in, and if you win, you get whatever you want in life, and there's like strict rules, but also I feel like it's kind of like The Purge, like anything goes. No one does psychological terror better. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of in Halloween spirit. So yeah, if I can get through that. It looks quite like a large book if you see it, but I had a look, it's only like, it's just under 400 pages, so it's not too bad, and the writing's quite big. So we'll see if I get to it. It's not on the top of my TBR for the month, but if I can get around to it, again, I've had this for so long, I really want to read it, and I feel like it's the perfect time. Another not so spooky, more like my usual style of book I want to read, it's called Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. It's quite a little book. It's just under 300 pages, and it's all about these two friends who are like friends as kids, and then she moved away, but she left him a love letter in the book, and now she's back in town as an adult, I think, or teen, and like tragedy struck. It says this on the back, so I'm not spoiling. And like I think it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of about like grieving, but also about finding love, and it's all about the classic books, and they leave love letters to each other in the books. It just sounds really cute, and it doesn't seem like it's too hard of a read, and I love how floppy it is. So yeah, I want to try and get around to that one, and that is probably something I'll read if I find that the spooky kind of bit more out of my realm stuff is becoming too much and I need to like have a refresher. I'll pick this one up. The only other things that I have on my TBR right now is the Throne of Glass series, which is like bloody how many books. So obviously that's not just going to be for October. I want to read, I have so many popular young adult books from Bookstagram that I haven't read. I've read the first two Throne of Glass, but it was years ago. So I want to reread those first two, and then start Air of Fire, which is where I got stuck last time. And I'll probably do a vlog about reading that popular series, and I think I'm gonna do a series on that of like reading really popular books and doing reading vlogs. So yeah, there's a lot on my TBR. I don't know if I'll get to all of it, but we'll see when we have another thank you next TBR and wrap up. But let me know what you guys are reading this month, if any of you are joining the Bad Witches read, and yeah, any recommendations for November. Bye. Well, I have not the other two books that and it sounds really cute and bookish. It's called